This was once a land of fable, of adventure. A magical land full of characters and creatures that resemble those in the stories you've been told. In this land, time is hazy, and everyone spends their lives searching for their happy ever-afters. There was harmony, forces of good working for those happy endings. But evil was always lurking around the corner. Now, a terrible calamity has occurred. A massive explosion, a series of attacks. Our land has lost its magic, drained away by some unknown force. Our realm needs help. People from other places, other worlds, who can use their powers to bring back what we once had. Adventurers, thank you all for coming. Our fate now rests on your shoulders. Welcome to Reverie.
All right. Once upon a time in Reverie, our heroes entered the Handsome Hunter and finally witnessed the famed show of LeFou, full of terrible jokes and silly songs. After either enjoying or tolerating the show, the party sought out Gaston. After asking about Hook, Gaston bragged about how he'd hunted and killed the crocodile that had been harassing Hook. He pointed out the slightly ridiculous armor on the wall. Mal examined the armor, and after some heavy flirting between her and Hook, she offered to take the armor and improve it. Gaston happily agreed, especially when it came with a promise for Mal to return the next night. The party returned to the Lost Boy tree with the armor, where they stumbled across Aurora, who was having a crisis over the loss of her druidic magic. Philippa then appeared from the forest, and after comforting her girlfriend, informed the party that Fenrir the wolf seemed to have gained power and boldness. Okay, so you guys got back around kind of bedtimey. So especially after the conversation with Aurora and Philippa, I'm assuming that y'all took the night. We aren't gonna, I didn't hear any talk about trying to like surprise Hook in the night or something. I'm assuming we're waiting till morning. Cool. So in the morning, you need to regroup. I want to just remind you, you have items. You both have the armor. You also have, I think Anastasia was the one who grabbed them, but you're kind of in the party inventory, I guess, have a few items from Fauna as well. Yeah. So I'm assuming we're regrouping in the morning and strategizing about, sounded like last time you needed to strategize about taking the fight or equivalent to Hook. Oh, actually, wait, before we do that, I wanted to address the thing because Callie wasn't able to be here last time. Do you want to talk for a second about how Milo was reacting during the tavern bit?
So, Joey and I have been talking about it a little bit. I just messaged you again, so I don't know if you read that yet. Okay. So for now, he's just kind of brushing it off.
Okay. I'm guessing party members would have kind of been able to tell you were a little uncomfortable during all of that.
Yeah, for sure. But he doesn't say anything about it for now.
Okay. All right. So when we regroup in the morning, I believe Mal was the one who ended up with the crocodile armor, correct? So let's assume you have met up there. I guess start speaking up about what our plans are. What are we gonna do?
So are we going after Rook or Fenrir first? Or we're trying to like hit them both at the same time, because I think that might be a little unrealistic.
Yes, I think at the same time is too many times. So I know we're supposed to get the armor back by tonight. So do we want to do Hook first?
Are we actually like trying to do that?
I don't know.
I thought we were lying.
I don't know if we're ready to face Hook yet, and Fenrir's closer to the people here, I think. I don't think Hook's going to attack anytime soon, but the wolf might.
That is fair. That is a fair point.
What was the sense of, like, it seems like a pretty big sense of urgency, right, Katie, from Aurora and Philippa?
Yeah. Yeah, a sense of urgency to do something soon. I will, as DM, point out that you've done a lot more recon and preparation for Hook, and you know basically nothing about Fenrir. You know he is a wolf.
Couldn't we use Gaston against the wolf when we bring the armor back? He's a hunter, isn't he?
Oh, that's a good plan. Also, I feel like tackling one wolf versus a ship full of pirates. Yeah, we don't know what powers Fenrir has, but we know that Hook has a ship full of pirates, and we know that he was really powerful. And I want to see if Gaston is actually a decent hunter or not.
I will say, even if he's just one wolf, I've turned down every job that had to do with Fenrir in the past, so if he has new powers, it's a little bit concerning, to say the least.
What do you know about him from your past experiences?
Well, he ate Granny and also Little Red. There were some rumors that he huffed and puffed and blew some houses down, but I'm not certain that that was him. I mean, I will say, to clarify, Philippa saved Granny and Little Red, but that he did eat them first, but they're not dead. So we could always ask them if we want more information about him. They have been on the inside.
Z just sort of looks at the boys and is just like on the inside of the wolf.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
I know Z knows that they can't see her, but if they could see the look that she was giving them. Absolute disbelief.
This is just Patrick. He's just like, he thinks he's the shit. He thought that was a real funny joke. But if I had to vote, I'd go after Hook first, even if Fenrir's closer. But, you know, I'll go with the flow. We're a team, right?
I just think that if we go fight Hook and bring Gaston his armor back, we can then use that to get him to help us with the wolf. Like a favor.
That's
You know, I think I'm going to trust the soldier. He looks like he knows what he's doing. And when Mal looks up, her glasses are all fogged up because she's been like this close to looking at the armor.
how do we want to tackle Hook and his pirates? I don't exactly have a lot of experience with ships.
I'm going to point out some facts from last, because it's been a while, from when you kind of reconned a long time ago. Okay. The ship was not defended from outside of it. There were plenty of pirates on board, but they didn't have like defenses from outside of it. Master of Darkness was able to easily get on board and not be noticed. And it even took a little bit, like, when I can't remember who it was, one of you approached, and then a pirate followed after, but it wasn't like the crew attacked. A pirate followed after and was like, "Hey, what are you doing? Why are you here?" So you were able to get close without any kind of attack, but they were like asking about what you were doing. Sorry if you hear that happening. So yeah, that's what you saw last time. You know that the ship can fly, but it wasn't last time you saw it. It was just docked there. And I guess I would say the other thing is you guys saw that the pirates looked capable, but it looked like the issue would be more that there's plenty of them. It didn't look like any one pirate would be much of a problem.
I have an idea. What if some of us dress up like pirates, and then some of us act like we are being hostages, and so we get to being put on the ship, and then we surprise attack? I think that will work.
I think that's a very clever idea, yes.
Thank you, Master of Darkness.
It's a great start. My one concern is Hook probably knows his crew and pirates that serve him.
No. You think a man who's that high up knows everybody all the way down? No. People who are in power don't care about the people who are under power.
I'll grant you that one.
Does anyone have an especially high passive perception?
I have a 15.
I also have 15.
I'm going to say 15 or higher. Dang. Okay. I'm going to say 15 or higher passive perception if you feel like your character would actually be paying attention enough, isn't distracted by anything. With Mal looking at the armor and all of you discussing Hook openly, you notice Peter kind of hanging out on the edges, clearly being within earshot and kind of listening in, but not speaking up. Doing that awkward thing of like, I'm not gonna jump in, but I'm not here. You guys don't really see me, but he's not like trying to stealth. He's just being casual. He's just being casual. Yeah.
Is there something you'd like to add to the conversation, Peter? Chauncey just kind of like calls out to you without turning his body in the slightest, because all he can hear is your body shifting.
Sitting over in the corner of the room, kind of playing with my panpipes, and I glance over. I'm just like, oh well, if you're asking, I sounds like you're going after Hook. He's kind of got his chest puffed a little bit. He's like, I've done that quite a few times, and listen. I can help a little. I have some information, maybe, about him, but I won't tell you unless you promise not to hurt him. I mean, a little bit is fine, but don't kill him or anything.
Don't kill the pirate. Well, I mean, he didn't, I'm assuming he didn't start out the way that he is that we've seen him, right? If you of all people are asking not to kill him, or is there a reason that you don't want us to kill him?
He he wasn't always like that. You're right. He used to be a he used to be a lost boy, actually. Him and a few others that have since left to go and join the pirate ship. It's fine, he just kind of wanted other things. He wanted things that you need to be an adult for. And when you want those things, the land responds, and he became an adult, so he couldn't really be a lost boy anymore. So, but he was a lost boy. And that is actually what I have to offer. If you promise though.
I mean, that's fair enough. I have a working theory that it's not really him that has the magic, anyways. Out of character, I think Z was the one who got close enough because she used detect magic.
Yes, I remember that now. It was because, yes, correct.
It was the ring that lit up, not him.
Yes, correct.
And slightly off track, Peter, but so he was a child who didn't age. Out of character real quick. She hasn't quite associated that with you yet. She hasn't talked to you enough to know. He didn't age like normally, like all children do. All children grow.
If you want to. I mean, I don't know why you would want to be an adult. That's gross. So, I mean, but so, so you get some sort of, like some people want, I don't know, power or kisses, but it's kind of, it's not my thing. I just want to be a kid. And so did he for a while. But again, you start,
And
I don't know, wanting ambition or, yeah.
And that's applicable to every child born in this land, or just
As far as I know, just the Lost Boys. Or I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. DM. Is it every child?
Peter would know either, honestly.
Yes, correct.
Oh,
it's everybody. Everybody picks their age.
You just see Z whip out her notebook and just starts like scribbling down notes again. I think, going back to my working theory, I don't think the magic is Hook. He had that ring on his finger, and if anything, it was what lit up when I looked, and I think it is what's making him worse. I don't have much to go on for his personality before, but
this was before this entire situation. He kind of became such a downer. Like most adults, they worry about everything. And, so he just, Jamie was never that good at magic anyways.
do you think Anastasia's plan of dressing up like a pirate to sneak on board will work?
I would love to see you try.
Is
I'd just love to see it.
Is this something we can barter for?
Barter
Not
for.
me. I'm not good at that kind of thing, but barter for the ring rather than fight.
I think given how powerful the ring was, you'd have to have something pretty good to barter.
I mean, he is kind of a coward in the end. If you get close enough, I'm sure he'd just give it to you.
Mal is like
Or I don't know.
protectively holding the armor to her chest when she hears about bartering.
I feel like we can use that crocodile armor in a different way if Hook was afraid of a crocodile. Is there anything else he's afraid of? Was there a reason that the crocodile was so frightening to him? Other than I'm assuming that crocodiles are just a frightening thing, but
Well, the crocodile's a memory thing, and I don't know about anything in particular he was afraid of other than most things. But I I and you still haven't given me a promise. You still haven't given me a promise of not hurting him too bad.
I promise not to hurt him. I just want to get the ring away from him. I think that's the source of his power, so that's the source of the trouble.
He lifts up his pan flute and he plays a tune on it, and then he holds it out to you. Every lost boy has a call. This was his. If you play this tune, it'll rattle him something fierce.
She takes it.
I don't know if that's an image or a video. Hold on.
That's an image.
Okay, now I've got to figure out where my video went. Katie, didn't I just send it to you earlier?
You're muted, Katie.
Yeah, it popped up. Yeah, I don't know if you, let me look. I don't know if you sent me yeah, you sent me the video.
This was supposed to be a lot smoother than this. I thought it was in my... Oh, it is a picture and not a video. Interesting. Right. Let's try this. There we go. That should be it. It's just an actual tune to place with the his call name on the pan flute. Pan pipes.
Yeah.
So I've heard the idea of dressing up. Do I have any of the rest of you who want to speak up about whether you like that plan or if you have a different idea? Or if you want to ask Peter more?
Maybe
Whatever.
we dress up as pirates, like Anastasia said, and then we dress up as pirates, and some people get snuck in as prisoners, and then one of the prisoners puts on the alligator outfit, crocodile outfit, and comes out, bam, scary. And then Hook is so frightened, we just take his ring and we run. We disappear. I think
Good
it's
plan to me.
pretty good.
I mean, if this flute tune will call Hook. We could always get him off the ship before we have to fight all the pirates.
That is also smart.
There is a chance that this becomes a fight whether we want it to or not.
Well, have we just considered talking to him? I feel like that worked pretty well with Gaston, didn't it? Could just say, "Hello, sir. Ring, please." We give you something in exchange for it.
I mean, I think that talking does tend to work a little bit better with fuckboys than it does with pure criminals. But we could try.
I mean, I know he wasn't keen on talking the first time, and they sent the pirates down. Maybe the flute will help us get onto the ship easier. It's just, if we can avoid fighting him and avoid hurting him, I think it's the rest of his crew that has me a little worried. Peter says Hook is a coward, and then I believe Hook is a coward, but I don't know much about the other ones.
Cowards tend to not run away when people they're trying to impress are watching.
As far as some of the crew, I know that some of them used to be Lost Boys as well, and they were great Lost Boys. They were very, stalwart, brave-hearted and such. But I being that close to Hook, it wouldn't surprise me if they got a little, as well.
With the plan for the sneaking on, what would be our purpose for bringing prisoners to Hook? Let me put it from that perspective.
So that one of them could be the crocodile and go, "Wah, crocodile."
Does Hook know that the crocodile's been killed? I'm assuming he does.
Well, but maybe he came back from his nightmares. I don't. Disappear. He disappears.
Mouse is right. You shouldn't underestimate the power of a nightmare.
He slowly reappears after receiving some sort of positive reinforcement.
I think what I mean to say is when we approach, I'm all for keeping somebody dressed in the crocodile suit to scare him. Might be great for an advantage. When we approach, he sent people down the last time. Normally, when you're approaching a guard, they want to know why you're there. If we're bringing prisoners, why are we bringing prisoners to Hook? Maybe I'm overthinking it.
You could pretend they're Lost Boys. They love kidnapping Lost Boys. It's part of the game.
Z looks like she is absolutely confused at this concept of like, why would pirates think it's a game and why would kids think it's a game, but she's just rolling with it. But she's definitely giving Peter a look like there's something wrong with you. She does look around everyone and goes, okay, well, who's the easiest to dress up like a Lost Boy?
Who's the shortest?
I mean, Z is short, but I don't know if she's the shortest.
Mal is 4'11", just to throw that out there.
The mice don't count.
This is true.
I do feel like you may run into some issues trying to dress up like a child.
Are you talking about her tits?
Yeah, out of character, yeah. No, that was out of character, but yes. I do feel like there may be some issues.
Hills, what were you starting to say?
Just saying it's definitely not definitely not Triss, and you have to keep in mind for Triss that there are there really aren't tieflings here, so
So maybe instead of going the prisoner route, like my brother suggested, we lure Hook away with this tune. We can still use this crocodile fuckery that you've come up with, and otherwise try to speak with him. If he doesn't listen, take the ring. The question is, where do we lure him?
Weren't we pretty far back when we snuck up on them to watch? Weren't we? Didn't most of us stay pretty far back? Okay.
So I'm hearing going to ship, using pan flute, having crocodile armor with you.
Try to speak to him first. If that doesn't work, we can utilize armor and weaponry to coerce the outcome we want.
I think we should try to get him back where we were because they didn't notice us until we had moved forward.
Will the flute be heard that far?
The flute's going to be heard like the normal amount of distance you'd expect a flute to be heard. I mean, you can play it loud, but like
Yeah, so we'll still have to get somewhat close, or at least one of us will.
Is this something that we would want to maybe ask Peter to try to lure him down to us if they have a history? Since I don't think any of us have any kind of instrument proficiency either.
You know, sometimes I can make little gadgets that make noises that aren't actually there. If somebody plays the tune and then I can replicate it and we can send a wee little robot birdie over. Well, not really robotic, just, a construct, if you will. And then maybe he'll be lured by that.
I can play the tune. I would love to help as much as I can, but I hate to remind people that I can't fly currently. I don't know how much help I would be on the ship.
Katie, how far away, like if we were talking in terms of like spells and feet and whatnot, how far or how close do you think we would have to get for the flute to be heard?
oh God, you want me to have a number?
Think of it in spell terms. Like if I can cast
Like
a spell
30 feet, 60 feet.
120 feet.
60?
Okay.
In theory, and mind
Well, sorry, I'm so bad at picturing how far 60 feet is in reality. I'll give you 120. Like magic items still work, so we'll say that it's louder than probably a regular pan flute. It's still not going to be heard, across miles, but 120 feet, I'll give you.
I'm wondering if just in case if there's too much, wind, or if it's, the ocean. What if I was to play the tune in his mind? I have message. I can mind speak that tune into his head.
But then how would he know what direction to follow?
But then we could use one of Mal's.
The point is to get him to come closer to us. So I feel like if he hears the tune, he might come off the ship. And then if we play it again, but then once he gets closer to find the direction, then we play it again with either the flute itself or one of Mal's devices, like a trail of breadcrumbs, as it were. Get him a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. Because if he thinks it's Peter, even if Peter's not there, and she kind of gets this look like she does not feel comfortable with having Peter there, which has nothing to do with him as being like a target versus just him being a child. If he thinks Peter's there, hopefully he'll come running. Maybe just as to talk, like if it's Pete, his call sign. And then maybe have somebody waiting in the crocodile armor as backup. She sort of looks at Mal and goes, what do you want to, like, do you need to work on the armor now? Or are you going to, does what you need to do take a long time? Or are we just going to use the armor as it is right now?
I think that I was just going to give the armor back to Gaston and make him think that something happened to it. So really, either works. It's fine.
If sorry. If it becomes a fight, you might actually have to fix the armor up before you give it back.
That's fine. I can just work and not sleep. It's not the first time.
Leo looks concerned.
Milo just looks over to him and just shrugs.
Katie, question. How big is the armor? Like who looking at this armor, who would it make the most sense to put it on?
So I'm going to remind you that Gaston mentioned that it can transform to fit anyone. Well, he mentioned it to himself, but he said he had it magicked so it could fit whoever. It is leather armor. I actually added it. I made it on D&D Beyond. So, oh God, but I closed it up. But it's like a +1, like it's a normal leather armor. I made it based on the normal leather armor and I just added. It does have, I realized I didn't think I said this last time. It does have resistance to slashing damage specifically. And then it has the effect on hook is written in there as well. So whoever ends up, if anyone ends up wearing it, you can actually add it on D&D Beyond if you want.
So plan A, and you see Z just sort of trying to organize things in her mind. Plan A is to try and lure Hook off the ship. And if that doesn't work, be dressed up as pirates and then one of us is a lost boy, just in case he doesn't come down. Maybe have somebody in the armor for a scare tactic. If he does come down, what's the plan then?
I think that depends on how many people he brings with him.
I believe we were going to try to talk to him before doing anything violent. Is anyone here especially persuasive?
I got a +2.
+6.
Oh,
Oh, I'm technically +4, so yeah.
All right, so Chris and I can handle the talking then.
I have a question for every single person since it sounds like we've got a plan and we're going to head out soon. I need everyone to decide what thing are you wearing, as in armor, not armor. For some of you, what armor? And then I also need you individually to make the character choice about how non-lethal are you planning to be, so that I don't have to ask this if we get into combat. If we never get into combat, it won't matter. But if you get into combat with the pirates, I would say basically you have three options. Are you going completely non-lethal no matter who it is? Are you going non-lethal for Hook because you were asked to, but you'll be lethal against anyone else you're fighting? Or are you ignoring the promise that kind of Zephyr only really said? Are you ignoring the promise and you're just going at it?
The mice, being from Reverie, are usually pretty non-lethal. They'll go for knockout blows as often as possible.
Okay. And I'm assuming the mice they're kind of all in their regular, whatever armor they would wear, they're always in, basically, right?
Standard outfits.
So Chauncey would be the only one who's not always in his plate, right?
Yeah, Chauncey, let me double check.
Because I think that's when I have a question on. Is Chauncey going to wear his plate or not?
Chauncey has just a light leather armor and a shield.
Okay. He doesn't have a plate that he sometimes puts on?
Not currently, no.
Okay. What about, I'm just gonna go through, what about Mal?
She's definitely in her power suit. I don't think that she would I don't think that she would try to be lethal because Peter asked, unless like somebody was like actually mortally wounded or something, or like in actual bodily harm. Yeah, she's not. Yeah, no.
Sounds good. What about Leo? What's he in and is he going non-lethal?
Leo would be in his full chainmail shield warhammer. He's not going into it with the intention to kill, but if they go after someone, he will defend them. I also will say that I do have Revivify prepared if necessary.
Okay, so I'm going to assume then that if we get into combat, that Leo is going non-lethal, and you will let me know if that changes?
Yeah, if they are going after someone with the intention to kill them, then he will step in.
Okay. All right, sounds good. What about Milo?
Well, Milo has a gun.
You can shoot non-lethally with a gun. You can
Pistol whip. Pistol whip.
I will let you know where he's aiming his gun.
Okay. And what is Milo in? Milo just usually has like leathers, right?
Yeah, just simple leather armor.
He doesn't really have an option. It's the normal thing. Okay. Yeah. What about Triss?
Put some M&Ms in my mouth.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll ask Anastasia and I'll come back. Anastasia?
I am a princess. You think I fight people?
Kind of what I figured. So are you in a dress?
Yes, of course. But I haven't gotten my new outfit yet.
Okay. And I'm assuming then, given that when she is going to fight, she is going non-lethal.
Yes. That would be bad for diplomacy.
Like I assume. And what about Zephyr? Oh, no, I'll come back to Triss.
Zephyr and Kier promised that they'd be non-lethal, so they'll be non-lethal.
And Zephyr doesn't have any extra armor or anything. They have the normal outfit, right?
Yeah, just, I mean, her outfit has a little bit of leather, but yeah, it's not really armory.
Okay. All right. What about Triss?
Triss is going to will be going non-lethal, and unless someone is being attacked with the sole purpose of them being killed, then there will be some non-lethal action. As far as where's she's gonna be wearing her chainmail.
Okay.
For this.
Because Triss as paladin is one that kind of would sometimes be in clothes and sometimes be in armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's in armor now. Okay. So based on all of y'all's answers, if when we get into combat, I'm going to assume that you're all going non-lethal and you'll just need to indicate during your attack or afterwards that you are no longer doing that.
I do have a question. Yeah. I have some spells that are not non-lethal.
Okay, so
How
here's
do you
my
want to
thing.
handle magic?
If you can find any way to justify a spell being non-lethal, like you can make any argument to me, even if it's kind of silly, like, I don't know, something like disintegrate. I don't think there's a great way to say that it's non-lethal, unless maybe you disintegrate an arm, but something like blight, you could just say that it does necrotic damage, but doesn't literally. If it knocks them out, it's because they just they can't even breathe because they're in so much pain or something like that. If you can make any argument that it's non-lethal, I'll take it. That's true for everyone. So that's kind of the vibe here. Yeah. Okay. Anything else before sound like we're heading off? Anything else that we want to do? Just to clarify, no one's wearing the crocodile armor, but someone is bringing it with them.
Should we decide who's going to put that on in the event that we need to?
Because it's going to take a while to put the armor on.
I will say that Hills and I both have.
Just to give you context, it's not full armor. It's just I had the names last time and I forgot. It's just the chest piece and the shoulder piece and the helmet. So it would take you, more than a combat round, but it wouldn't take you that long.
I was just going to say that Hills and I both have way better armor than that, so it probably shouldn't be us.
I feel like somebody should be in the armor before we go in and maybe have it hidden under a cloak or something, just in case we do need to do the whole, I am the ghost of your memory, give us the ring.
And the same dress.
I was going to say maybe Milo should wear it because Gun does not need to be up close and personal, and it is leather.
Yeah, I can wear it.
Or you could just wild shape into a fucking crocodile.
I could. I could.
I thought Milo's outfit kind of had like a cloak.
Not a cloak.
What am I remembering?
Like maybe like a long jacket.
Oh, that's what I'm picturing is the long jacket you mentioned. No, yeah, because I'm okay. I have another image in my head and I didn't know where that came from. So you obviously can't hide the helmet, But I'll give you, if you have a jacket, that you could hide the rest of it. I'll give you that. Because it said it could fit to anyone, so it could fit to you well enough that then you could, a little uncomfortably put the jacket on. You'll have to, kind of hold on to the helmet somehow, off to the side.
If it fits to anyone, can the mice wear it?
Yes, I will tell you, it'd probably have not as great of effect on Hook because you could barely
Tiny
see it.
little-
They would look like a Beanie Baby.
Just a tiny little crocodile just like running back and forth on the ground in front of him. Rawr!
Okay, I know Anastasia still has all the items if you want any of those. Do we have any information or things before you go? Last call before you head out. Okay, I am going to take like 5-minute break here. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to prep something based on what you guys were saying. And I think, assuming you're not taking Peter with you, because Zephyr made that clear that they weren't good with that. And unless anyone else is going to try to change that, then I think Peter's not going.
That is a-okay.
Okay.
I do
And
want to
Zephyr-
clarify that when I suggested that, it was Leo was not like happy about the suggestion.
I think we all could guess that based on Leo's feelings about kids.
Is someone taking Peter's flute? Okay.
Zephyr has it, I think. Yeah. Okay. All right. 5-minute break, and then we will continue on from when we are close to the ship. All right. So y'all travel to near where Captain Hook's ship is. I'm going to say there is some tree cover, obviously not on the beach, but near the beach. So if you want to get down to where it's docked, staying within kind of the tree cover, you could stealth up there. There's a little bit that's beach that's obviously then going to be a little more difficult, but not too far. It's beach that meets onto light forest. So I'm going to leave you, kind of drop you off from fast travel at a place that is covered enough that you don't need to roll stealth right now to not be seen. And it's your choice if you try to traverse from there towards the ship or not.
What time of day is it?
So I would say about midday, because you guys got up, talked for a little while, got ready, left. So around midday.
Can we see any activity on the ship from where we are?
If you have anything like a telescope or a spyglass or anything like that, anyone has anything like that, you would be able to see what's going on the ship. From where you are without a telescope or a spyglass, I mean, you can see there are people on there. You don't see a lot of activity. But unless you have some kind of, or unless any of you have specialized eyesight, something that I don't know about. But if you have kind of normal human-ish eyes, you would need some kind of binoculars, telescope. And if you don't have that written down, but you would say that's in your character to have one, I'll go for that too.
I feel like Milo would at least have binoculars of some sort.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah. So do you want to make a perception check?
Sure thing. Let me wait for it to load. There we go. Perception.
Yes.
That's a nat 1, but I have a +7.
Okay. You see there are pirates on board. You're at a weird angle. You can't quite see, like you couldn't count them. There's not that many though that you can see. It's a pretty small group right now. And it seems like there's not much movement that you can see. No one's running around. No one's moving any sails. Yeah. I would say even with a nat 1 +7, that you can spot Hook's hat. Hook is on the deck of the ship.
Hook is on deck.
Are we close enough to play the pan flute, or am I close enough to do the message, or do I need to get closer?
As far as message go,
120 feet.
no.
Okay.
No. You're still pretty far. You're still fully in the forest. You could move up to where it's a little starting to thin out towards the beach. You could move up to the beach. Those are going to be different levels of stealth check to not be noticed.
I'm going to look at the group. How close do you want me to get to lure him? Does somebody want to take the flute? I'll play the tune in his mind from there and hide. And then when he gets to about where I am, someone else play the flute again from further back to lure him in, and then I'll bring up the rear.
Well, who's the stealthiest?
I suppose now is a bad time to mention I was going through my bag and found some vanishing powder that could perhaps help with this. It's actually my pass without a trace, not vanishing powder, but artificers don't use magic.
Well, that would certainly be helpful.
Well, then let's do that and see what happens.
Who wants the flute to lure him past where I get to? I feel like the further we draw him away from the ship, the better.
I got a +2 performance. I can give it a go.
I will hand the flute to Anastasia.
The Master of Darkness will climb up on your shoulder. I'll go with you.
Thanks. And she'll kind of give Kier a look, and his ears go back at what she's telling him mentally, but he stays put.
So do we have Zephyr and Anastasia moving forward?
So it's basically going to be a sort of like a 2-point thing. The Master of Darkness is coming with Z. She's going to get as close to the ship as possible using some of Mal's vanishing powder, lure Hook off, and then once Hook almost gets to where she is, then draw him another 120 feet with Anastasia playing the flute.
And Master of Darkness is going with, because he's a rogue, just in case.
Yeah.
Does that put Anastasia further from where we are all are, or is Anastasia still able to be where we are?
Anastasia is going to be where, with the group.
Okay.
He's going to go forward, and then once Z draws him, then Anastasia will draw him further towards the group.
Okay. With messages just in your mind, right? So he's going to have to spot you.
Yes, if he hears it, it's sort of like throwing a voice, almost, kind of so he's going to hear it. What did Peter wear? He had green.
Yes.
She's going to look around. Does anyone have a feather or anything? Well, yeah, I mean, if she has she's got all kinds of white clothing. She can sort of just wave a little white flag to make it sound like, hey, come get me, I'm surrendering. But she's just gonna show the flag. So if there's we've got the tree lines, is there any sand dunes or something that she could
do you want Leo's cloak? It's like a blue and teal. It's not quite green, but there is a teal side to it. Do you want to take that?
Yeah, that would actually work towards looking like a lost boy.
He will kind of look at her for a second, and then he'll unwrap. It's like a full length wraps around his pauldron's cloak, so it's gonna drag, and kind of drape it over her shoulder.
She'll nod and say thank you. Is
So
there?
if you're trying to be spotted, then I don't even really need you to.
Well,
I guess I'm going to have you roll stealth, but it's going to be a low stealth because you're just trying to get far enough, and then you're fine with being
she
spotted.
doesn't want to be like spotted. She just wants to be able to get his attention and then maybe have like a little bit of movement that he sees to make it look like a lost boy is running. She still wants to hide. She wants him to pass her so that she can get behind him as he moves towards the group.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So roll me stealth then. Pass without trace gives you a plus what?
10. So it's any creature I want within 30 feet of me when I cast. So I'm just gonna give everybody the plus 10. I'm just gonna sprinkle that vanishing powder all over the place. Salt Bay.
All right.
Great.
Stealth.
All right. So then give me a stealth check with a plus 10 to it.
Oh, all right. Ooh, thank God. 19. Oh, thank God for that plus 10.
Okay. Are you going to be trying to see what's happening while you when/after/during you cast message, or are you casting it and then going?
She is casting it and then she is going to do her best to what she's looking for is like either a dune or some tree roots or something at the edge as close as she can get without being like in super danger of being rushed by pirates. So within that 120 feet.
Okay, I'll give you kind of a tree on the edge of the beach.
Yeah, and basically she's going to send the tune in his mind and then kind of pop out and then pop back into hiding to make it, so that he can see the direction, and then she's going to try and hide.
Okay, so I think what you'd end up kind of doing based on the landscape I have in my head is that she would cast this from closer to the ship and then kind of have to go a little further back once she's cast to be kind of where it's got some trees and then you can hide there.
Hide. Yeah. And
that and with the 19 I'll just give you that because they're not looking for you. Are you trying to see what's happening?
She wants to, she might peek to make sure that he's not going to stop at her. Less peeking, more like listening to hear if he's going to try and I'm happy to roll whatever I need to roll for that.
Okay. I don't know if they're going to end up, okay.
I mean, we can just.
I'm just going to give you what I need to give you. I'm not going to give you any extra because I think if you're trying to hide, you're focused on that.
Yeah, she just basically, as long as she hears boots tromping, she's going to sit where she is until it sounds like they've passed. Okay. And then follow.
Milo, I will give you a second chance at perception check if you would be continuing to look through the binoculars.
I am also with Zephyr. Master of Dark.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. If I can hear or smell anything, I can't see, but.
Okay.
Well.
12. Okay, you see something, but not much. So while you are watching, Milo, you are able to, even from where you are with the not great angle, you are able to tell the moment that Zephyr casts that message because that hat is whipping around. That hat is easy to spot. That hat is whipping around and moving across deck and quickly moving around deck, agitated. Even from here, even with mostly just seeing the hat, agitated. As they start to exit the ship, you're able to see a little bit more. You see Hook exiting with what is clearly someone who is slightly different than the others, who looks like his first mate that you guys spotted last time that you reconned, following him, and a handful of other pirates following behind. I would say as they get closer, you can see that Hook is freaking out. Very visibly freaking out. The first mate looks concerned. The rest of the pirates do not. They're following, but they are not agitated at all. They're just following orders. And so then when they're about to pass you, I'm not going to make Master of Darkness roll because mouse on a shoulder. I am going to make Zephyr roll one more time because they're passing you. So,
So do I
but
still
you have the plus 10.
I was about to ask if I still have the plus 10. All right. 28.
Okay, yeah. The pirates, I guess, the other pirates don't care enough to be looking around where they're going. And Hook is too concerned about trying to find it. I would say both of you, Zephyr and Master of Darkness, can hear Hook frantically kind of half talking to himself, half talking to his first mate, half talking to me. Being like, I don't understand. How could I hear that? That shouldn't be here. I don't see him anywhere. I thought I saw something over here, but I don't see him. He wouldn't come here. He can't fly right now. He wouldn't bother me. Why would he play that? And he's just going over and over again, repeating to himself. He is freaking out. And every so often you hear Smee say something like, it's all right. You don't need to worry about it. He can't fly. Even if he's here, we'll make him go away. But Hook is like clearly not even listening. He's continuing to motor mouth the entire way past you. Okay.
Do I hear does it sound like they have heavy boots or a belt or something that perchance if a little mouse were to run and jump on there would be a place for him to sit?
Not especially, but I think you know that Hook, I mean, you've heard Hook described. I think you know Hook has a huge hat.
Yeah. Yeah. Master of Darkness just gonna go try to jump on him. Keep an eye on there. Stealthily, not trying to be seen, but just to keep an ear on him.
I'm actually going to make you make 2 rolls here. The first one is athletics because you are trying to jump to his hat as he's walking by you very quickly.
Can I argue for acrobatics for that one?
Sure.
Okay. That's a 13.
Okay, then I'm going to let you roll stealth at disadvantage. Because you didn't make a great landing, so he's more likely to notice. You have the plus 10, but you're rolling with disadvantage.
26.
Damn, okay. So it is not a great leap. You make it, but you have to scrabble for a second to get into a good position. It's a little awkward. And if Hook was not so distracted, he would absolutely notice. And he kind of messes with his hat for a second where it feels off to him and he just kind of adjusts it and you have to hold on to not get knocked off. But you are up on Hook's hat. Yeah. And Hook is in the front. So as long as you stay in the front of his hat, which I'm assuming Master of Darkness would have the sense to do, then the rest of the pirates can't see you right now. Okay, so Hook has passed. Hook and Smee and the handful of pirates with him have passed Zephyr and Master of Darkness. The rest of you are fairly well covered, but they are headed towards you now. So if you want to step out, now would be the time. If you're not going to step out, you're at some point going to have to make a stealth check because they are getting close to you. What are we going to do?
Anastasia's not hiding, but she's not hiding.
Okay.
Because she was like, oh, I have to play the panpipe, the pan flute. But she's like, I'm ready.
So you can see them at this point. When you see them, do you play it?
Yeah. She tries her best. She's trained in music.
I didn't make Zephyr do it because Zephyr was doing it through the mind. I'm going to make you do a performance check. It's going to be an easy performance check because it's only a few notes. but I'm still gonna make you do a performance check.
That would be a 10.
That will pass it. Again,
Slay.
it's a handful of notes. It's like a call sign. It's not a real thing. So no one, and we're not caring about how beautiful it sounds right now. It's just hitting the notes enough for him to be scared. So you all, I would say, all of you that did not go, everyone besides Zephyr and Master of Darkness, you can see Hook and the others now. And when you hear Anastasia play those notes, you see Hook like, you know, in cartoons when they're mad and they jump up and down on top of their hats? It's like that, but not on top of the hat. He is freaking the heck out and he is furious that this is happening. He is so mad and upset. And you can hear him even from there. He's within like shouting distance. You can hear him shouting at the top of his lungs of, "Who is doing that? Stop that!" To the point where, like, Smee's been concerned this whole time. The other pirates are kind of like, what the fuck is wrong with him? Chill the fuck out. Okay, so this is kind of your last chance for those of you who are still in the trees. If anyone wants to step out and not be kind of found, but be stepping forward, it's kind of your last chance.
Here wants to try and loop around without being seen to get behind where it would snuffle.
Loop around to like where Zephyr is?
Yeah, so like like further out around the group to try and...
Okay. I'm going to give him that based on speed. I mean, horse creature. But I'm going to need a stealth check. Hook wouldn't notice no matter what he does right now, but the other pirates could.
Yeah.
You have that plus 10, though.
$15. He is a horse.
I think I will give it to you because horse. So if the pirates hear me, like, I would say some of the pirates kind of hear something and they are kind of like, okay, but they kind of write it off as an animal. It wouldn't be unheard of to have an animal around here. So they're aware that there's probably something coming around, but they just assume it's some kind of animal and they're not alarmed. And they don't think it's an enemy or anything. All right, so we have Zephyr, Kier, and Master of Darkness behind, all of you in front. Last call if anyone wants to step forward.
Is there a place near Anastasia that isn't out in the open that Leo could stand because she does not have armor?
You are in basically woods. Not super dense woods, but woods.
So I could, in theory, like stand behind a tree, not step out, but be within 5 feet of her.
Yes.
Okay, I would like to be there.
I have armor.
You're wearing a dress.
It's not on. I can have armor.
Well, I know.
All right, your timer has run out. The pirates, Hook and Smee and the other pirates, they have not entered the forest completely. So I'm gonna say that they can see you. I mean, they heard the flute, they know where to look. And it's actually been played, not been mind sent. And there's a whole group of you. And one of you is in, correct me if I'm wrong, bright pink super armor. So I think even with Pass Without Trace, especially given some of you are not super hiding, I think you're going to get spotted at this point. I'm going to call it for you. I don't think how about this? They can't see every aspect of all of you. So if you're wanting to say you're standing behind a tree, I'll kind of say that they can tell you're there, but not see everything about you. So kind of, let me actually get that from everyone. Leo is behind a tree, correct? Like mostly behind a tree. What about Tris? Behind a tree or not? Yes?
Behind a tree.
Okay. I'm not even going to ask about, well, I want to know where the boys are. They're not going to be spotted probably unless they try to be. But where are Chauncey and Patrick?
So Chauncey, knowing that he and Tris are planning to be the conversation people, is probably, he would have asked for consent, like, is it all right if I sit on your shoulder while we wait? So just, like, would just be hanging out with Tris. And then Patrick is probably just crouching behind a rock.
Okay.
Yeah.
plenty of mouse-sized rocks
Yeah.
and kind of lightly forested area. Anastasia is not. Anastasia is out and open. Okay, out and open. What about Mal? Will armor fit entirely behind a tree?
I mean, it's not like a giant mecha suit. It's more um like Iron Man is what I was kind of imagining
So I
it.
would say some of the trees you could and some of the trees you could. So are you fully behind a tree or not?
In as much as I can be, yes.
Okay. All right. So Hook can see Anastasia, and so can the rest of them. But is very much aware of the rest of yours. Oh, Milo, sorry. I went the wrong order. Milo, behind a tree or not?
Probably behind the same tree as Mal.
Got it. Okay, with Mal.
Yep.
Okay. So the rest of y'all, besides Anastasia, Hook is aware of your presence, but they can't really, make out everything about you, all of that. And Hook stops kind of where it starts to get more wooded and stops and sticks his hands on his hips and stares out and just yells, "Who is doing that?"
Me!
I'd say his jaw like fully drops open. He just is very confused because he was ready to scream at Peter, and instead he's seeing this princess woman in a full dress excitedly telling him that she's the one that's been fucking with him. So he just has a moment of a jaw dropped. What the heck is happening? Recovers enough to finally say, "Is Peter with you?"
No.
Then what do you want?
Your ring.
He immediately does this clutching thing, and you see up close this terribly huge ring, and just gaudy as all get out. It's ridiculous, and he's clutching it to himself. What? Why? Why would you want my ring? It's mine.
I see, I wasn't here for that part, so I really don't know. I didn't really even know you had a ring until a few minutes ago. And then I was like, okay, that's what we're supposed to get.
Chauncey will come out now. Anastasia, do you mind if I say a few things?
Oh, yes, sure, go ahead.
All right, sorry to interrupt. Remind me Hook's real name.
James.
James?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Peter call him Jamie? Did Peter call him Jamie? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. James, hello. My name's Chauncey.
I'm going to tell you, you immediately get a lip curl.
Well, I can't see that.
Oh my God! Okay, I would say you can hear a little bit of not quite a snarl, that kind of ugh noise.
Apologies, no disrespect, Captain. So as my friend here said, we are here to ask if we can borrow your ring, perhaps. We are struggling with an innate problem.
Absolutely not. It is mine. You cannot have it.
I understand that. I did say borrow. If you would just hear me out. We are trying to save the land we live in, considering there is no magic. We're running out of...
I don't need saving. Thank you very much. He's gonna stomp over to Anastasia and attempt. Do you still have the pan flute in your hand?
Yes.
He's gonna attempt to take that from you.
I cast Eldritch Blast.
I was gonna ask, does this count as an attack?
Well, I guess it doesn't matter if it counts as an attack because she's cast Eldritch Blast.
Diplomacy is dead.
All right, I guess diplomacy is dead. Get my iPad on here. Roll initiative. For the first time in the campaign.
Chauncey is just immediately... Which side was that on? Just not sure who fired at who.
Okay, I need to get a catch the Zoom.
You definitely hear Leo mutter like a little, oh, fuck.
Katie, if Z is riding on Kier, does it just count as one initiative attack?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Have to frantically cover up the ship since we are not on the ship. Okay, so I threw in some trees there. God, I've got to think backwards now. Okay. So, nope, I don't want the whole group. I gotta put it one at a time. So Hook was kind of being forward. Hook is there. Smee is right next to him. Where the trees are, I would kind of, if you can't tell, like Hook is facing the trees. So you guys were originally kind of further behind. But they were far enough that I'm assuming you're going to have to move forward to really do much. So if we have to pretend you're further off screen, I will, but I'm sure there's a better way to do this, and hopefully I can learn it before next time we do combat. All right, that is generally where those pirates are.
Didn't he
Hopefully you
only
can tell
bring
what's what.
you
1, 2,
again?
3, 4, 5. S for Smee, H for Hook.
Katie, I thought he only brought Smee with him.
Nope, he had a handful of pirates with him.
Oh.
So, where are all of you? Let's look. The PCs. So Zephyr and Kier are behind. And Zephyr and Kier are one unit. I'm going to leave Kier off to the side right now. Does that make sense? Maybe I'll just move him on top of you, I guess.
Yeah, and if I dismount, then, we can separate.
Okay. Does Therish work behind them?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Let's see. Master of Darkness
He's
is
on top of Hook.
on Zephyr with Kier?
No, he's on Hook.
Oh, right. He jumped on Hook's hat. I forgot that for a second. I'm gonna put him here, but he's on Hook. Okay. All right. Let's do Anastasia next. Green with a little crown. Where you at? How about like
he approached me, so I'm close to him.
Oh, that is correct. I need to move Hook forward because he moved forward. Thank you.
He came at me. What else was I supposed to do?
He was just trying to take the flute. He was angry.
It's rude.
It's true. It was rude. All right. Let's see. Is Chauncey still like on Triss? Next to Triss?
No, he kind of stepped forward to be next to Anastasia to talk. So I would put him above her, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Where is Patrick?
He was still like hiding some, maybe like over to the left one, but yeah.
There?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. What about Triss? Behind a tree, correct? Triss, you good with like, I don't know, there?
Behind a tree, sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. I'm good with there, yeah.
Okay. All right. Milo, you and Mal were behind a tree together, right? So how about there and there? Oh, I didn't mean to rotate you. Does that work for the two of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Leo, I did my best. I kind of got you some teal stained glass for you.
It's really nice. I'm like right behind Anastasia. Because I would have been behind that tree and when
So like here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I
all
am I
right.
rocks? Am I rocks?
You're the pink tourmaline.
That's so cute.
Mal is a little gun with lavender. Anastasia is the crown. Triss is the longsword. Yeah. I did my best. Okay. Yeah, so many layers. Okay. And oh God, I gotta roll initiative. Okay. I'm gonna give. Okay, I'm going to give Anastasia a surprise attack by herself. I don't feel like the rest of you knew she was going to do that. So she gets her very own surprise round. Yeah, surprise. I don't think a paladin does Eldritch Blast. So, surprise. All right, so talk to me, Anastasia. What are you doing? You are attacking Hook with an Eldritch Blast?
Yes, and it's a 22 to hit.
Well, yes, that will definitely hit then.
Slay.
Yes.
Let me grab a D10. Where's my D10? That would be 4 points of damage.
Okay. All right. So surprise round over. I need initiatives. Let me roll really fast for mine, and then I will take all of yours. Oof. Okay. And just FYI, I'm going to do all of the. I'm going to split the pirates into. I'm going to do pirate 1 and 2 at once, and I'm going to do pirates 3, 4, and 5 at once. Oh God, I'm going to ask a really silly question. Initiative is based on what? If I have something with a stat block and not. Is that like dex bonus?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Rolling smooth. Okay. Rolling one group of pirates. Oh, okay. They're going last. They also go last. They all go last. All right. I'm pretty sure. Does anyone have a initiative of 26 or over? Yeah, okay. So Hook's going first. Does anyone have 20 plus? All right, Milo, what's yours?
Dirty 20.
Okay. And Mal?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Who has the higher dex?
I got 3.
Yeah, I have 1.
Okay, so Milo and then Mal. Okay, what about 15 through 19?
Oh, mine was 24.
Oh, sorry. I can only see so many things. So, okay, so Hook and then so many M's. And then Milo and then Mal. Okay, any 15 through 19s? Okay. Yeah, sorry, I can't see hands entirely right now, so.
Z and Kier had 16.
Okay, so Z and Kira next. 13 and above for the rest of you. What does Anastasia have?
13.
Okay. I'm just gonna have to call out names. I'm confusing myself. Tris, what do you have?
I have a 13.
A what?
13?
Oh, great. All right. We got three different people at 13. Anastasia, what's your dex? Anastasia, what's your dex?
Sorry.
You're
It
fine.
is a 1.
Okay. Tris, what's your dex?
-1.
Okay. So it's going to be Smee then, and then Anastasia, and then Tris.
I have a 14.
I'm sorry. I can only see like 6 things on my screen in terms of videos, so I'm getting thrown off. I was like, I'm missing something. Who am I missing?
There's
All right,
Adjust that.
Leo.
You
a
can pull it
column,
out.
Katie, that
Yeah.
you can, if you pull the column, you can see more portraits.
How do I pull it to column?
It might be a different mode too, because sometimes there's
Are
one
you
that's
in
like
gallery
or
mode?
something.
Oh, okay, okay. I think I got it. Okay, so Leo, then Smee, then Anastasia, then Tris. Is there anyone else that I accidentally skipped? Please say no. Cool. And then it's Pirates 3 through 5, and then it's Pirates 1 through 2. They rolled like shit. All right. Well, now I decide what Hook's the fuck gonna do because he did not expect that.
I will say Anastasia says well, after she cast out her spell, it's not nice to take things from people.
Okay. He's gonna shout back very petulantly, I do what I want. And he's going to attempt to shove you to the ground and take the pan flute. So
Does this count as an attack?
does this count as an attack? I think the shove counts as an attack. Why?
Hold on one second. I need to.
You're fine. I know we're all going to be looking at our sheets a lot.
Never mind. I need to
Okay.
fix something. I grabbed the wrong thing.
Oh no. Okay. Do you need us to wait?
No, it's fine. I
Okay.
was trying to take when I made him, I was trying to take the feat that allows you to intercept attacks with your shield, and I grabbed the wrong one.
Oh. I will let you change that now. I'm going to keep moving for now, but if you want to change that right now, I'm fine with that.
Thank
Since you
you.
meant to do the other one. So it won't count for this attack, but you can use it in this fight later. Okay. So I'm gonna we treat that like a grapple. So I think athletics versus athletics here, Anastasia. If you want to make an athletics roll, and I'm gonna make one for Hook. All right. What did you get, Anastasia?
I got a 9.
Yeah, he's able to shove you to the ground. I'm gonna make him make a dex check to get the pan flute, but not opposed, because he has been able to like kind of shove you and overpower you. So maybe sleight of hand I'll have to do. He's pretty good at that though. Oof. How do I choose to do that? Okay, he didn't roll great. So what I'm gonna say is that he gets the flute. But in order to take possession of it, he's going to lose his action next turn. Okay, his action next turn is taken up with like not dropping it. because he's only barely gotten it from her. And you have the opportunity, Anastasia, on your turn to attempt to grapple him for it, even though you're prone, because he didn't do a great job of grabbing it from you. Okay, so he's kind of just grabbed it, but he's still kind of hunched over you. So on your turn, you can choose to attack him, or you can choose to try to grab the flute back. That's up to you. Okay, mice are up and Milo is on deck.
Okay. So the Master of Darkness is going to run from over Hook's hat, jump down, and sneak attack with his dagger into the back of Hook's hand.
So he's going to end up like here. Is that the idea?
Yeah, I'll kind of explain what I want to do,
Okay.
and then you can move me.
Okay.
It's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, it's going to hit it.
Okay. And as he like stabs it in, he goes, "Don't touch the lady." And then as my bonus action, I'll roll damage in a minute, but I want to use fast hands to make a sleight of hand check to remove his ring.
Ooh. Okay. So the deal is it's really big and you're small. So I'm going to let you do the sleight of hand check, but you're also going to have to make a strength check. Actually, no, I don't even need you to make sleight of hand. I think you'd be able to do the sleight of hand part. You got to make a strength check for if you can move it off of his finger.
Can I, instead of trying to carry it, just try to take it off and push it onto the ground?
So what I'm going to say is, like, I want you to roll strength. There's a lower level of check that will get it off his finger, but on the ground. And if you get a higher roll, then you can even have it like you're holding it. But there's a certain level you have to roll to even just get it off his finger because it's heavy and you small.
Yeah, okay. All right, let me roll my damage for that hit before I forget.
Okay.
Uh, 19 damage. And then...
Okay, I'm going to ask you all to be honest with me. Can you uncanny dodge a sneak attack?
I have uncanny dodge, so I'm looking. When an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have that attack's damage. Yeah, I'm not invisible, so I think you can see me once I'm there.
Okay, so he's going to uncanny dodge that so that he takes half damage.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call that 10.
And then...
He is very unhappy about that.
I'm stabbing his hand, so like his fingers are weak. So like, what if I had advantage on my strength check? Because he's so
you might
weak.
have disadvantage because my response if I'm stabbed in the hand is to do this, not this. So now you're having to lift it up against gravity.
I only got a 10.
Yeah, you're not. You move it a little bit, but it falls right back down.
Okay.
He is grasping his hand, and you're able. It like goes up and it comes back down.
I'm just sitting there on his ring finger then.
Okay. So he is going, ah! And there's a mouse on his hand, and his hand is in bad shape. I would say, given that damage and the fact you specifically attacked his hand, I think he has a hole through his palm right now. So he's screaming. He is very unhappy about what has just occurred.
That's my turn.
Okay. That is the mice turn. All right, Milo, you're up. And Mal is on deck.
So he would have stepped out like the moment Hook started charging at her. So just to the other side of the tree.
Okay.
What did we decide about the armor?
I thought we had you have it on underneath.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if I should put on the helmet.
I'm gonna say if you're gonna reveal it by taking off or opening the coat and putting the helmet on, that's an action.
Okay. No, I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay.
I'm aiming for his shoulder.
Well, he's leaning over Anastasia. Leo is kind of in the way. I'd let you do it, but I think
in front of the tree.
You'd be in front of the tree. So
Yeah,
you're
like
saying
go around the other side to the front of the tree.
be like
Yeah.
here?
Like
Okay,
one,
all right.
yeah.
I'll give it to you.
Go down one just so it's not point blank.
Sounds good.
Thank you. And
All right.
I got a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that will hit.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna do it on here. 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. So yeah, while he is screaming over his hole in his hand now, he is shot in the shoulder. And yeah, he is screaming like it's painful to the ear. He is screaming at the top of his lungs. He clearly just cannot believe that this is happening, that this is what has occurred.
I'm
Is that
also
your turn? Anything else?
going to say this could all be over if you just hand over that ring.
God. Oh, okay. It is Mal's turn with Zay and Kier on deck.
This fucking mute. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Can art never mind. No, I'm not even gonna ask that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Hold on. Okay. I would like to take a few steps forward, like to be um maybe like hold on. Um like
Where you
two
thinking?
two blocks in front of Milo. Like yeah, that one.
Okay.
And then I would like to uh so I'm gonna pull I'm gonna shove my hand in my bag really quick and pull a bottle out and throw it um
Okay.
to throw grease everywhere. So I'm casting grease. So it's a 10-foot square centered on a point within 60 feet. So whatever a 10-foot square is centered on the other pirates.
Okay, so I have the squares on here to be the usual like 5 foot. It's the 5 foot squares, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So 10 foot radius. So everyone who is adjacent to Hook. I guess Anastasia, you don't have to make a roll because you're
No, no,
prone right
no.
now.
No,
So
on the other pirates.
oh, my bad. Okay. So aimed on who?
Um, let's do Smee.
Okay. So that would get Smee and 2 and 4.
Okay, yeah, that works.
Good with that? All right. What do they need to roll?
Deck saving throw.
Dex saving throw. Okay. What do they need? What's the DC?
16.
All right. Smee is still up. Let's see about our other pirates. 2 and 4 are prone. So 2 and
Sucks to
4 are
suck.
prone. But Smee is still up.
Okay.
Do they have to make rolls again on their turn?
A creature that enters the area or ends its turn there must also succeed on a dex saving throw.
So enters or exits?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Or
And
continues
what was
to
that
exist.
DC again?
16.
Oh, or continues to exist in it.
It's if they're in the area by the end of their turn, or if they enter the area.
And is it at the end of their turn or the beginning of their turn?
Ends its turn. So
ends its turn. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No.
Cool. All right. It is Zay and Kier with Leo on deck.
So, riding on back of Kier, Z wants to charge at pirate number 5, and basically Kier wants to body slam pirate number 5 into Shmi and try and knock the two of them prone.
Okay.
So basically just horse body slamming into this pirate hard enough to try and knock him into Shmi, because she saw the other two go down, so she's going to try and knock this guy and Smee down as well.
Okay. So, athletics?
Sure.
Did you say a 4?
Huh? No, I haven't rolled.
What did you say?
I haven't rolled.
Okay.
Cool, that's good. 26.
Okay. With that, I will give you that. Okay, I'm going to make Smee make a dex save to stay up and not fall prone. I'm just going to go ahead and say that 5 is pushed back and prone.
Okay.
Smee rolled well. So I'm going to say Smee is still up where he's at. 5 is pushed back and prone. Smee is still where he's at. And then you and Kier are in that spot then.
All right. So that was Kier. Let's see. What do I want to do? And Z. Everyone's around Hook. I don't want to. Oh, hold on a second here. Oh. I am going to hold my action. Wait. Where's Master of Darkness? Is Master of Darkness technically on Hook's hand?
Yes.
Then I am far enough away that since I'm high up on Kier's back, I'm going to hit Hook in the back with chromatic orb.
Okay. What does that do?
So I can choose whether it's like fire damage, cold, etc., etc. And it basically hurls a sphere of that energy at my target. If the attack hits, he takes damage. Basically, I'm gonna do fire damage, and I want to less hurt him and more ignite his coat. I want to make his like coat and hat smolder, essentially. So kind of like a potato.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to say then. If you're going to try to kind of aim it and finesse it so that he's smoldering, I will let you do that if you half the damage.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So roll for it. Is there a a saving throw or anything?
No, I don't think there's a saving throw. Let me read this real quick. No, it's just whether it hits or not.
Okay, so you have to roll to hit.
Yeah, and I roll a 16.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. I will just do 1d8 of damage.
Okay. Instead of 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, since it's technically 3d8, I'll just do the 1.
Okay.
And that's 7 points of damage.
Okay. And his back of his coat is like basically on fire. Front of it's getting singed. His coat is pretty roughed up.
Yeah, I want
not
him to
much is
basically
left.
have felt it and then realize that, oh shit, I'm smoking.
Yes. Yeah. So yet another thing for him to be distracted by. So now he has a hole in his hand, a bullet, which he doesn't fully know what that is, in his shoulder. I guess he knows what that is, but he doesn't see it very much. So he's very much surprised by the gun. And now his coat's on fire. So, and his back is probably singed through the coat because it was on fire. Yeah, he's having a great time. Anything else?
No, that's it for me for right now.
All right. It is Leah with Smee on deck.
So I think, can I get around Chauncey? Like, can I just step over him?
Chauncey. I mean,
Yeah.
Mouse.
Okay.
So yes.
I think
You can
that
step over any of the mice, and the mice can go under any of you.
okay. I think that Anastasia's probably pretty safe right now, and I'm not liking the sight of Zephyr being the only one over by those pirates. So I think that I'm going to step over Chauncey and just come to a stop directly in front of Smee with my warhammer.
I'm assuming your movement's 30.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
that's fine.
I counted it out. And then actually, hold on one second. Can I move diagonally up 1 so I'm between 2 and Smee?
Yeah, I think that still works.
Okay. I'm going to take my first swing at number 2.
Okay.
Which is a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
I am gonna say I didn't get a chance to pull my shield out with what happened with Anastasia, so I'm gonna say that I'm using it two-handed if that's okay with you. Because I didn't have a chance to actually defend anybody. Jeez, I lost all my D10s for a second there. 10 points of damage.
Okay.
And I think I'm probably swinging for like the legs just to knock them over. I'm not going for lethal here. And then I'm gonna take my.
Actually, I just remembered 2 is prone.
Oh, okay.
So you would have had advantage to hit anyways, but you hit anyways.
Oh, okay. Sorry, when I forgot about the grease thing because I thought it was 5 that just had been knocked over. That's fine. I'll just hit him then. And then I'm gonna take my second swing, use one of my War Priest abilities and take a second swing at Smee.
Okay.
19 to hit? No.
That will hit.
20 to hit.
That will hit.
Sorry, I can't math. That one is 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And again, is Smee also knocked over?
Smee is not.
Okay, then I'd be aiming for Smee's legs at that point.
So the first pirate you hit I mean, screams, is on the ground already prone, and he like curls up in a ball instinctively as you hit his legs. Like he is in massive pain. Um,
I'm so sorry.
Smee, you're fine. Smee takes it like a champ. Smee obviously kind of takes the hit, but he takes it like a champ. You can't tell, like you can with the pirate, that he's been hit super hard. Okay. Anything else?
No, that ability uses my bonus action, so I'm good.
Okay. All right. It is Smee's turn with Anastasia on deck. Um. You, Leo, you are like heavily armored, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I'm very heavily armored.
Okay. Smee is gonna use disengage as a bonus action. To disengage from you. Abandon his friends. And he is going to move.
I do want to let you know
Yes.
that feat that I took, the feat that allows me to like interpose myself to attack when people get attacked, also does not um disengage. They'll still get an opportunity attack.
I feel like in game he wouldn't know that. So go
Okay.
ahead and roll an attack then.
I'm so sorry.
He's running. You're good. You're using your abilities. Don't apologize.
Nat 20.
Great. Okay. Yeah, roll your damage. That hits. And double the dice.
13 points of damage. Y'all, if I end up killing
14?
Smee, 14 points of damage. If I end up killing Smee, or 13, sorry, I will cry.
You can see more of a hit this time for sure, but he keeps moving. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I'm just seeing where he can get to. 1. I can do diagonals, right? And that counts as 5 still? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. So he's gonna get here. No, he's gonna go here. He is gonna. Yeah. I'm gonna even throw in that, like, Mal, you can see as he rushes past you that he has his rapier out and he's thinking about it and he passes you. He chooses not to go for you, and he goes for Milo. He is going to do a multi-attack. So this is 2. Yeah. Okay. So this is 2 rapiers and 1 dagger attack. So let me roll 3 times. Oh, the second one doesn't hit because that's a nat 1. Oh no, it's a 7. It still probably won't hit. Jesus. Okay. All right. So that's a 21, a 13, and a 9. How many of those hit?
Just the one.
Milo. Just the one. That's kind of what I thought. So I would say, given him, I would say the one that would hit would be a rapier attack. So all right, so that is 9 damage, 9 piercing damage. Oh yeah, it's piercing, not slashing. If it had been slashing, you would have had resistance because of the crocodile armor. But it's piercing. So that is 9 damage. He's already used his bonus action. I'm just gonna say he turns to Hook and says, "Get out of here." And that is Snee's turn. It is Anastasia's turn with Triss on deck.
Give me back my pan flute.
Okay, so you're gonna continue grappling him for it.
Yes. And I argue rolling with advantage because he is pretty beat up right now.
I would say because he has
only
so
use
I
one
would say
hand.
Okay, so yes, he would have used his right hand. He's right-handed. He would have used his right hand to get the pan flute, but his left hand has the ring and now has a hole in it. So he could have been using two, but now he's using one. So yes, I will give you advantage. Let's make
Wait,
I'm gonna
wait,
say
wait.
athletics.
Does the Hook have both hands?
He doesn't have both hands. He has a hook.
Me missing obvious fucking things. How
Joey
many times
asked
am I
you
gonna
this in
do that?
chat, and it was very important.
Oh my god, that is so funny. That is so funny to me.
The idea
He
of
grabbed the
Hook,
pan flute with his hook.
the idea of Hook having the ring on his hook though is so funny.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to reverse that in my head because he would still have his dominant hand, so he still has his right hand. His left hand is a hook. But that means, just so you know, you're on his opposite side. Then, Master of Darkness, you are on his right hand with. Sorry, yes, you're on his right hand that has the ring. The pan flute is hooked on his hook. So that definitely makes it athletics because he's got the hook in there, but he's got to pull it back. So roll athletics with advantage, and I will roll athletics with advantage. Thank you for pointing that out. I can't believe I didn't think of that. All right, what's your highest roll, Anastasia?
19.
Yeah, you got it. So you take the pan flute off of his hook. You're able to get it off of that hook and take it back. So you have possession of the pan flute, but that did take your action. Do you have any bonus actions you want to do?
I just tell him, you're not very nice. That's it.
I feel like he probably under his breath goes, I know. Okay, that's Anastasia. It is Triss with the first set of pirates on deck. Triss, there you go. You unmuted.
So I am going to, a lot of my stuff, I don't think I can justify it not damaging. As far as my spell stuff. So I need to move to get into range with anybody, unless I'm gonna throw my javelin, which I don't even think I can do because I'm behind a tree. So let's move me. Movement speed. Okay, so my walking is 30.
You can get anywhere around here.
Oh, okay. Let me go like right. I like how I'm pointing my cursor and you can't see it. Let me go right, like in this blank space, that's right above Hook. Can I move that far, or can I?
Right above Hook? Yeah, you can get there.
Yeah.
All right, what are you doing?
Right. And then I am going to go ahead and attempt to attack with my monster. Nothing lethal. I think I'm just gonna go for a limb, I guess. Maybe the leg.
Okay.
So let's roll. Let's see. Be good to me, the okay, 22.
That will hit.
Okay. No. A 9 slashing damage.
9 slashing damage. Okay. Anything else?
Um, I was gonna say not to waste time, let's just say no. And I will look at my bonus action options in my next turn.
Okay. All right. So we've got parts 3 through 5 now. Let's see. 5 is prone as well as 4. But that just takes half of their movement, right? So, okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and say that all 3 of them go for Zay. They're in range, so I'm going to say with their like scimitars is what this has.
The ones on the ground?
I think so. 3 wasn't on the ground.
Okay.
And he can move up 1 without getting into the grease because the grease is ahead of that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out which ones are coming for her. Because 2, 5.
Oh, it's all 3 of them. They are surrounding you.
Okay, but 2, 5, and 4 are on the ground, right?
Yeah, I'm having 4 and 5 use their movement to stand up.
Okay.
I think they'll all have to make a dex save at the end of the round to see if they fall again. Okay, so let me make 3 rolls, see which hit. 8. So 21, 18, and 11. Guessing the 11 doesn't hit. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah, the 11 doesn't hit.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. All right. So, 2 do hit though. 1d6. Roll damage. 2, whatever this is. So that is 12 damage total from the 2 hits combined. I just rolled together.
Are they both hitting me or are they hitting me and Kier? Just out of curiosity.
I would say they're both going for you, not Kier.
Okay.
I think they would feel weird about attacking the horse.
Okay. All right. 12 damage?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. And I'm going to go ahead and say then, so now I'm on to Pirates 1 through 2 with Hook on deck. 1 and 2 are going to go after Leo, since you are right there. 2 is going to have to use his movement to get up. 1 can just stay out of the grease by going here. And they are both going to swing on Leo. Same idea. Ooh. Oh, almost was a 1. 15 and 16. What do those do, Leo? You've got armor on.
Sorry, I was muted. The 16 hits because I don't have my shield out yet.
Okay, but the 15 doesn't. All right. So one of those guys missed. The other one does not. That is 5 damage. I just remembered that I need to roll a dex save. Oh, one of those was an at 1. Okay. Both 5 and 4 are prone at the end of their turn. So, Zephyr, if you attack them melee, you have advantage. Okay, it is now Hook's turn with the mice on deck. Hook Hook is freaking out, man. This is not what he thought. This has all gone down very differently than he expected. So Hook is going to use his bonus action to disengage.
How
And
does
let's see,
that
how far
work
can
if
he get?
I'm literally on his hand?
You can come with him.
Okay.
Do you want to come with him?
Yes.
Okay. So he disengages from the rest of you, so you can't attack, but he is going to get out of there. So he is gonna move. He's gonna move back there. As far as he can go without dashing. I'll go ahead and move you as well. Oh, come on. Master of Darkness, since you're going with him. Just put you right there, but you know you're on him. And actually, that's what he's going to do is once he gets out of there, he gets out of there first. But I think I'm going to make... I'll let you argue what exactly you want to roll for this. I'm going to have him make an athletics check to try to shake you off. So what do you think?
I feel
What
like
are you...
that would be like a dex save, right?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Let's do that. So roll dex save and I'll roll athletics. Oh, okay. Thanks. Wait, I thought that was a 1, but it's a 7. Still not great.
14.
Well, you beat him because he got an 11. All right, so you are still on his hand. I'm going to count that as an action, and he uses bonus action to disengage. So that is all Hook has for the round. Okay, it is the mice's turn with Milo on deck.
Okay. So after being shaken, the Master of Darkness just kind of goes, "What's trying to be nice?" And then he's going to take his daggers and attempt to cut Hook's finger off so that the whole ring falls off.
Okay, all right. Valid. Roll me an attack.
I have a 16 and a 14.
Oh, because you get 2 dagger attacks?
Yeah.
Okay. 16 hits, 14 does not.
Okay.
So one of the times he tries to slice into the finger, Hook manages to move his fingers out of the way, move around enough. The other one, you get purchase in there.
Okay.
Roll me damage, and that's going to determine whether you get finger off or not.
Oh no. It's a 5.
Okay, you do not get finger off. I'm going to say you make a pretty bad friggin' cut in that.
I was being
that
shaken.
finger.
I tried my best.
So, I mean, yeah, you are getting shook around a lot. You got carried along with him while holding on to his hand, and then he tried to shake you off. So, yeah. And Hook is not looking great. To no one's surprise, this is not going how he expected, and he is very unhappy right now. And his finger is in bad shape, but it's still going to hold the ring. But right now, even having the ring on really friggin' hurts because it's cut deep enough that that's nasty.
And I will just
Okay,
say,
anything else?
if you just let go of the ring, we'll leave you alone. How about that? And then for movement, Patrick is kind of hearing where the Master of Darkness is. Patrick's going to use his movement to run over to be next to Hook, like kind of between 4 and Hook.
So like there?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. It is Milo's turn with Mal on deck.
I think I'm gonna shoot Smee.
Okay. Because you're in melee range, do you have disadvantage with the
I
gun?
do not because I have the gunner feat.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So that is a 19 to hit.
That will hit.
And then 12 damage. Point blank shot.
Yeah. Did you get your damage? I didn't get your damage.
Huh? 12.
12. Okay, sorry. All right. Yeah, that is a solid hit there. Okay. Anything else?
That's all I can do.
Okay. Well, you got a solid hit on me. All right. It is Mal's turn with Zay and Kier on deck.
Okay. So Mal sees me going after Milo and charges up her thunder gauntlets on her suit and pops him. Or attempts to pop him, I guess.
Okay. All right. Roll to hit.
Does a 17 hit?
Meets beats, right? So yes.
Yep. Hell yeah. Hold on. Do I have a D8? What the fuck's my D8? There it is. Okay, so that's 10 damage.
Okay.
How's he looking health-wise? Does he look beat up?
Not good. He looks very beat up.
I'm gonna pop him again, but I don't want to kill him. I just want to beat him up.
Okay. All right, go for it. Roll to hit.
19.
19 to hit will hit. I thought you meant damage, and I'm like, Jesus.
Oh God, no. No, that's 7.
Okay.
And he has disadvantage on any attack rolls against any but me until the start of my next turn.
Okay, so it's like compelled to hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Smee is up, but he is not looking great. Yeah. All right. Anything else?
No. No, I don't think I
Okay.
can do anything else.
All right. It is Zane Kier's turn with Leo on deck. Oh, and Ellie, before I forget, is that 8 EST or 8 CST?
That's what I said 1 second for. My nieces and nephew have never done nighttime sled riding, and there was a potential that they live across the street, that we were going to do some. They just texted me saying that they're not. So the hard stop time is
Yay!
gone. So
I mean, sorry you don't get to go sledding, but yay!
it's too cold for them, basically. The snow is great, but it's too cold for them tonight. So
Makes sense.
all right. So here is going to go first. And at second level, he is going to cast Command. So at second level, he can cast it on 2 people. And he's going to cast it on Hook, and he's going to cast it on pirate number 3.
Okay. What's the command?
First of all, everyone can hear this in their head, but the effect of the spell is on those 2. So they just hear everyone hears a very loud shout in their heads, "Stop!" in a very authoritative voice. And Hook and Pirate 3 have to roll a wisdom save. And
he's not good at that.
If they fail the wisdom save, then on their next turn, they have to follow that command.
Okay. All right. Well, both of these are straight D20s. What's the DC?
15.
Oh, good. Okay. I'm gonna have some DMs thing. I rolled them at the same time, and one failed and one passed. So I'm gonna say the Hook passed, but that pirate did not.
Okay, that's fine. Knowing that I know that they'll get an attack of opportunity anyways, but Kier and Z are going to come around in front of Hook to block his escape. Although if I don't move out of range of Pirate 3, does he get an attack if I just stay within the 5 feet of him?
I don't. If you, I think if you stay within range, you don't. So if you go here, you're saying?
Yep. Yes.
So 5 and 4 would get an attack of opportunity, but 3 would not.
They're knocked down, aren't they? I thought they were both prone again.
You are correct. So if you're prone, that would make sense that you don't get an attack of opportunity. All right. Yeah, so you can move there for free.
Okay, so he just wants to block, and Z wants to try and speak to Hook.
Okay.
For her action, I guess, because she can say more than just a few words, but she's going to mind speak it to him. So
interesting. Okay.
So in his head, he hears who I'm going to say assumes is Z, because it's different than the voice that shouted at him to stop. And she's going to say, "We didn't mean for this to turn into a fight. We're here because Peter is worried about you. The game has gone awry. The ring is changing you, and not for the better. I know that you enjoy the magic, but we need it to test a theory about what's going on in the world. And Peter just wants the game to go back to the way it was. That's why we had the pan flute."
God damn it, Ellie. Okay, roll me persuasion. Roll me persuasion with advantage.
Okay. Wait, let's see. What's my persuasion? I need Z's character sheet. Okay. Dirty 20.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
In his head. So just to point that out there, that he doesn't have to respond right now, but like he's hearing this in his head. This is, I will say that her intent is to make this sort of pause. She knows that he's the captain. She's hoping that he'll kind of call a hold for the moment. That's her aim.
Hey, Ellie, you want to guess what Zephyr's done again?
Is she making him cry? Oh my God.
Yeah. With a dirty 20 and everything that's happening, he falls to his knees on the sandy ground and just starts sobbing.
I will say that if Z sees that, she will slide out of the saddle and next to him and just sort of pat him on the shoulder like she's consoling basically a shattered soldier. Like she understands.
And I would say actually roll me insight. And anyone who's anyone can roll insight if they want for this.
Insight is a 15.
22.
24.
I'm gonna say 15 and above. So if anyone else rolled, if you got a 15 or above, you see the little boy. He is crying like a little boy. He is in a lot of pain. This did not go how we expected. He thought he would just take the stupid flute and stomp away and it would be over. And he has a hole in his hand and a bullet in his shoulder and his coat's gone up in flames. And now, she's reminded him of things he does not want to be reminded of. And has found a good pressure point. And yeah, he's a little boy again, and he's just crying and does not know what to do. Clearly just all tears, and that kind of like little kids scraped their knee kind of crying on the driveway kind of thing. He's just crying. And all of the other pirates, the five pirates are just like, what the fuck?
I will say that Z is
first time.
I will say that Z is like she's sort of got him like it's okay. She's sort of like patting him on the head.
Not
Can
knowing.
I
I'm sorry. Let me Leo go, and then the boys can go.
okay. Can I walk around to Zephyr and just kind of put a hand on her shoulder and cast a first level cure wounds on her?
Yeah, I think initiative
Which
is at least paused for right now.
You get 11 back, Ellie. And then he's just kind of gonna roughly be like, do you want me to wrap up your hand? I am a doctor.
What does Master of Darkness
Yeah,
on
I
the
was gonna
hand
say,
do?
so he rolled a really bad perception check, and Ellie talked in Hook's mind, so he's still trying to get the ring off, aggressively.
So even Hook falling to his knees and sobbing uncontrollably, he doesn't.
No, he thinks it's a perfect opportunity to slip it off.
Oh,
I will say that if Z sees the Master of Darkness going to make like an aggressive attempt, she will with her other hand grab him to stop him from making the attack.
Does she say anything?
In his mind he will hear her say, "Don't."
Okay, so series of events, the hand that he was trying to saw the finger out of, at Leo's suggestion of helping, while still sobbing, Hook just holds his hand up in the air in the direction, like, like you can't even really hear words of like, okay. It's very pathetic, but again, you can kind of see like the small boy here. It is sad as well as pathetic. Like you genuinely feel a little bad for him, probably. So, and then when that happens, Zay grabs for you and says, "Don't." Does Master of Darkness let Zay grab him?
He's just like, what's going on?
In his mind, he'll hear Zay explain, "I think I got through to him. The fighting stopped for the moment."
All right, please put me down. I don't like this.
She will put him down on her shoulder.
We'll just take a little seat.
So now, Leo, the hand is up in your direction with no mouse on it.
Yeah, he will. I don't know that he's gonna cast anything because he just cast, and I don't know if he immediately, but he will. I wrap up the hand. I have medical equipment like bandages and stuff on me. So
how badly is Hook hurt?
He's not on the edge of death, but I level with you. He's somewhere around half. Smee is in worse shape than he is.
While
Oh, wait. Sorry, I took a bite. During all of this, once Smee sees that you stop, the moment he hears Hook cry, he hears Hook cry, he looks around to see if kind of battle is still happening and he can run, because he's hurt enough that he can't afford to run if everyone's going to attack. But I'm assuming those next to you, once the battle has stopped, you're not going to attack him as he runs. You're clearly stopping. So is that correct? It was like Milo and Mal that were near there. You would let him You're focused on Hook now? Okay, I'm gonna assume that. I'm gonna jump in. So Smee would then run to Hook. And like pause for a second, staying next to him, and then just get kneel in the sand with him and kind of hold on to him. And kind of wave a hand at the pirates. So those 5 pirates are still there. They just took a couple steps back. It's awkward for everyone. So they're there in case, very clearly, like, in case you guys decide to attack again, they are there to protect him, but they're not within scimitar swinging range right now. And Smee is holding on to Hook. All right, Zephyr, what were you saying?
And Smee looks worse than Hook.
Oh yeah, Smee is in bad shape. He's holding it well, but he is yeah, he's clearly very hurt.
Does Z or Kier sense that these two are like really close friends? Like out of all of the other two, these are the two that are like brothers essentially.
I'm going to tell you that he is holding him. If you want more than that, you're gonna have to insight check.
That's fine.
Chauncey will come over and help kind of like try to non-magically patch Smee up.
Okay.
19, Kier's insight.
Okay. What am I gonna tell you at a 19? They are clearly incredibly close. Hook, it looks the most awkward a human being could look, basically, very pathetic and sad, but he is accepting the hug from Smee while he is everything else that all of you are doing that is nice for him, he is very clearly ignoring, not like in a look away from you dickish kind of way, but like he can't acknowledge it. It's too awkward and uncomfortable to acknowledge people patching him up or saying something kind or patting his head. But he is like leaning into Smee and accepting the hug from Smee. And Smee is clearly extremely concerned for him, even though Smee is much worse hurt. He's clearly only focused on Hook right now.
Kier is going to one at a time just sort of lean forward with his nose, and when his nose touches Smee, he's going to heal him 5 points with lay on hands, and he's going to do the same thing with Hook. So anyone who's like
heal the world.
Anyone who's like right there when his nose touches, they'll see like just this almost like a flash of like lightning, like, but small, like just a blue flash real quick, like a blue silver flash. Hoping that, again, to further de-escalate the situation.
I'm going to pause for a second before Hook turns to Zephyr or Leo, who's right there. And I just want to kind of get, or Master of Darkness is still right there. I want to kind of get reactions and what you're doing from the others. So, like, Milo, what's going on with you? You're muted.
My button wasn't working. It was weird. So he's probably standing there watching. He still has his gun out. He's just holding it down by his side.
So I would guess that most of the pirate eyes are on you. It's easy to tell that they're very uncomfortable with looking at their captain right now. I think you're probably the one they see most as a threat right now based on your actions. So they're watching you, but they're out of range. They're just kind of making sure you're not going to aim. Mal, what about you?
Now my button's not working. Mal is definitely going to be checking to see if Milo is hurt. Not that she can do anything about it. She doesn't. No, she has +4 medicine. She has +4 medicine. She's just not proficient.
He is a little hurt.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't. She's gonna pat him on the shoulder because I can't do anything else. I don't have any health potions or healing spells.
He just kind of like nods and grunts at her.
And she's just like, "Oh, you were so brave."
Thanks. He's blushing.
They're cute. They're cute. I can't. Tris, what about you?
There we go. I was having problems unmuting as well. So I think Triss is just kind of like, just like, this is awkward, you know.
Okay. This is not the scene Triss was expecting either.
No, definitely not. Not a grown man crying like a small child. No.
Yeah, it got like a smite kind of prepped in the back of her mind, and he doesn't get to use it.
He doesn't get to use it. No.
Okay. What about Anastasia?
Does she see Master of Darkness?
Yeah, I think it was pretty openly picked up by Zephyr and set down.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what she was checking on.
It was put on Zephyr's shoulder.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Do we have anything from Chauncey or Patrick that you want to say? What are they up to?
I mean, so Chauncey is just kind of like non-magically bandaging Smee up. So like
Okay.
band-aids, natural salves, stuff like that. Anything he can do without his cleric powers being there. He's just like completely unbothered by the crying. Like you can kind of tell this is not the first time he has bandaged up someone who is traumatized. So
I'm gonna go ahead and say that Smee, without even like, he only looks for long enough to be able to spot where you're at. Kind of like does a little mini head pat, as kind of like a nonverbal thank you. I would say he kind of like under his breath says something like thank you. But his focus is clearly on Hook, so it's kind of, he's trying to be polite, but he's not really paying much attention, but he appreciates that you're doing that for him.
Patrick, when everything kind of is done, he's just gonna maybe go up and climb onto Kier and just kind of sit there and be like, what do we do now? Just because he's not super aware what's going on. He's just kind of whispering to Kier because he doesn't want to interrupt the crying. He's trying to be sensitive.
Kier, he hears in his mind Kier say back, we give it a few moments and see if they'll calm down a little bit. Most children only take a short while to cry.
All right. And he just kind of starts just like waving his little feet as he sits there and waits.
God, I love it. Okay, so we've got kind of what else is happening in the moment. So let's kind of step back a few seconds. Zay, Leo, those of you who are, it was mainly you two, are a Master of Darkness, although I doubt he's the one who's going to speak up. What are we saying to Hook?
Z will reach into her pocket and pull out like a handkerchief and just sort of like you would a child that was, crying. And she's just gonna say, I'm sorry that got so out of hand. That wasn't what we intended. Some of us are just a little less used to diplomacy than others. Are you okay? We really are here because people are worried about you.
I just wanted the noise to stop. He's still like sobbing. It's calming down a little bit so you can understand what he's saying, but he is still fully crying while he says this.
And she's just gonna be like, I'm sorry. When Peter told us that was your call sign, he didn't tell us that it would make you upset. He's kind of a naughty kid, isn't he?
Yeah, he was always playing tricks.
Yeah, that does seem about right. I'm sorry. We didn't mean we just wanted to talk to you. We didn't know that it was going to upset you like that. Is it all right if we
I
go
just,
now?
yeah. And he's getting a little more under control now. If you'll let him, he kind of takes the handkerchief from you and is drying
Mhm.
his own eyes.
Yeah, she'll let him. Um, I know that you really, really like that ring, but it is what we really, really need to talk about.
I'm just, I mean, I like it, but I'm not supposed to give it to anyone.
Did somebody tell you that you're not supposed to give it to anyone? Did somebody give it to you or did you find it?
He like looks around for a second, looks at me, looks back at you. I
Should
don't know who it's from, but they told me that they told me that I had to keep it and and it would give me magic if I kept it, but that I could only save them if I kept it.
save who?
Well, I don't know. Um and Smee from his somewhat blood-stained coat um pulls out from his breast pocket like a small notebook.
Mhm.
Um and let me paste this into chat. Um where am I gonna put this? I'm gonna
Katie, while
put
this
this
is
in, I'm
happening,
gonna put it in important dialogue.
can Leo move on to helping patch Smee up and maybe um, giving him a cure wound since you said he was worse off? And he
Sure.
feels really bad about what he did.
Is Smee like passing the document or is he
He is passing the document. I think he would hand it to Hook so he gets the last say on whether he hands it off. Um uh oh shoot, I can go cut off part of it. Um sorry, it's not cooperating with me how I want to. Um he's passing it off to Hook, but then Hook is immediately letting it be passed off. Passing it off to you as well. I had it already, and then it doesn't want to.
has everyone else moved
Um,
up towards us or are you guys all still hanging back?
I'm hanging back.
okay, so that is an important dialogue. Um, I'll read it out though. So, you have a note, and it says, "To the great Captain James Hook, your expertise is desperately needed. I cannot disclose all the details, but my fate rests in your hands. All you need to do in order to save me is to guard the enclosed gift with your life. It will grant you magical abilities, but only as long as you keep it on your person. Please, kind sir, you're my only hope." And he hands it out to you and then like pauses for a second, lets you read it, and then kind of adds on. Um, so you see, it's not just about liking the abilities. I mean, hopefully my crew doesn't die often enough that I need to use it, but I'm helping by holding on to it. And well, I don't know more than that, so I'm afraid to pass it off to anyone in case that hurts whoever gave it to me.
Out of character, real quick. we're trying to acquire this ring, right? Were we trying to acquire it for someone, or did we just want to get it away from him so he didn't have the magic anymore? I can't remember.
Unclear?
I think there
Leah,
was
what were
an
you gonna say?
assumption that it had something to do with what had happened.
Okay.
Yes. I will throw out there for you that I'm sure Althea would like to see it.
It's not that we want to keep it. It's that we're trying to figure out what happened. And I'm sure that, you having magic probably is wonderful since you didn't have it before. Would you be willing to let us borrow it? We won't damage it. We won't destroy it. We won't alter it. I'm just trying to study things to see why what happened. Would you let us borrow it just to study it, and then I'll bring it back to you?
Make a persuasion roll. You can have advantage.
Oh, that's really good, but yeah, thank God. Persuasion is really fucking good. It's 26.
Yeah. He's gonna take a moment and look at it and think about it. And then pull it off and hand it to you. Actually, he's gonna pull it off and hand it to you, and right before you actually take it, he's gonna just hold on to it a little tighter right there and just say, "You promise you'll take care of it."
You have my oath. I will take care of it, and I will bring it back.
And he'll give it to you.
And she will take it and put it in her pocket.
I think at that point, Smee would stand up and help Hook up, and just kind of address you as a group and say, "Well, if that's all you wanted, I'm gonna take him back to the ship." And he's not even really going to wait for an answer. He's going to start walking away. So if any of you want to jump in and say something, you got to do that now. Okay. So
okay, bye. Bye.
Okay. Yeah. So he starts walking away. The pirates kind of fall in line and follow him. And there's a moment there where, Hook seems to be doing a little better. He kind of pats him on the back, and Smee kind of, before they get too far, kind of turns back and goes, you've been kind of the speaker of all of this, Zephyr, so he's kind of towards you, but he's speaking so everyone can hear, but very clearly not speaking loud. Like if you're not near Zay, you can't hear this, because he's trying to make sure Hook can't hear. He's clearly not speaking very loud. It just says, "I thought that was more trouble than it was worth since we got it, but he wanted to do the right thing." And he kind of rolls his eyes and looks back at him, and there's a fondness there, but also just kind of like, Jesus Christ, like this whole fucking thing. Look, if you could just if you can keep Peter off his back for a little while, he's gonna need a little bit to save some face with the crew after. And he kind of just gestures to where he was crying.
Z will give him a silent thumbs up.
Thanks. And he starts to walk away, and he just kind of turns back briefly and just says, if all of you need any help with, dealing with this, just get a hold of me. I can help how I can. We all are, well, this hurts all of us. So. And he doesn't even really give you a chance to respond. Once again, he's kind of like, so, and just starts walking back and catches up with Hook, and they all head back to the ship.
Well, that was crazy.
I think I'm gonna end session there. You have the ring, you have the notes. Presumably you are headed back to the Lost Boy tree to regroup, to show this all to Althea and anyone else who's there and try to figure out next steps.